NFL Pick'em Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. As always, the Grueling Truth Sports Network is powered by Betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding online casino or sportsbook that's right for you. Make sure you head over to Betting.net. I am your co-host for the NFL Pick'em Show, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I want to welcome in my co-host. First up, a man who's literally done nothing his entire life until he met me and Steve, and now he's an NFL beat writer and an NBA talk show host, Dan Kornhauser. How you doing, Dan?
What's up, guys? Another Wednesday, and I'm ready. Now,
Do you like that, Steve?
Time.
Do you like that, Steve?
NBA talk show host.
I like that.
He can't get beyond LeBron James.
I like that. I like that.
All right, and of course the loudmouth in the middle with the big head.
I guarantee you, Mike. He has seen Space Jam 2. The Legend Goes On, or whatever.
I have not.
Yeah, I'll bet you have. You watch it with your mom eating meatloaf. You piece of shit.
I refuse.
Oh, hey, come on. Let's not attack him yet. All right, and of course, the loudmouth in the middle got that from his former coach, Bob Knight, 1981 national champion, a member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and the leader by one game over me in the NFL Weekly Pick'em Show. Of course, Dan dead last.
Dan's still the leader.
Dan's like the Miami Marlins. He's usually eliminated by halfway through the season.
Damn.
Steve Risley. How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. And Mike, I believe this is about the fourth or fifth week I've led you. Fourth week, maybe?
Well, the
started
good
off
thing
at
is,
3 games. You whittled it down to 2. You whittled it down to 1.
It started off at 6. If I remember
I don't think
right.
it was ever 6.
Dan, wasn't it 5 or 6 at one point?
No, I don't think so.
It was.
It was 5. 5 was the highest.
And that was like 3 weeks ago. Now it's down to 1. Steve, would you like to? Hugo Chavez says, "Uno saludo desde Argentino."
Yeah, what up, Argentina?
Hey, don't cry for me, Hugo. All right, guys, thanks for listening to Hugo. I mean, Steve is part Argentinian.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Before we get into football, one thing I wanted to run by you guys we should talk about real quickly. At 11:59 tonight, the collective bargaining agreement for Major League Baseball ends, and there will be a lockout probably at 12:01 starting the next day. Is this anything serious?
Don't care.
Or, I mean, looking at where they are in the season right now, not ready to report to camps yet or training camps. Or
Steve, it doesn't matter. This is an NFL Pick'em Show. Nobody cares about baseball anymore. It's basically 8 teams with all the money will compete to win a World Series, while the other teams will continue to charge high prices for inferior products. So, I mean, seriously.
Okay, so let me ask Dan. Dan, does the lockout have any relevance right now, or is it just if it does occur?
It's going to occur. I don't think it really has any relevance right now because they're going to get it done. Guys, there's way too much money on the line to be had on both sides. They're playing hardball. Once like February rolls around, I'd be surprised if they don't start getting traction, if it even gets that far. Give it a few weeks, see what happens, but I'm not worried about it. We're going to have baseball next year.
All right, guys.
It would be something crazy for that not to happen.
All right. And, of course, there's not been a lockout in baseball since 1994. We're done, Mike. Let's get on to the pick.
I don't know why we're talking about baseball.
That's a relevant sports thing. We should address it.
It's not relevant on the NFL Pick'em Show.
Let's do it.
Let's make sure we check out the Grueling Truth November giveaway NFL jersey. You can have your own name or whatever name you put on it. We've teamed up with PlayersBest.com to give away a custom jersey for one lucky winner. To win, simply like the PlayersBest.com Facebook page, like this post, tag 3 friends in the comments, and a bonus entry if you have Twitch. Be sure to follow their page to increase your chances of winning. Follow the Players Best page on Twitch. All right, guys, we are at week 13.
Mike, I got a question. Is this an official Nike authorized jersey?
Yes.
So you're going through Fanatics to get this?
I'm not going through anything, but the people that run
Fanatics
are.
Fanatics owns the rights to all major sports.
I don't know what that has to do with this.
Well, it does, because I buy from Fanatics. I just bought a new Colts sweatshirt and sweatpants today from Fanatics.
That is awesome, Steve. I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's start off with the first game of the week. Steve, the Patriots at the Bills. Since you're the leader, you get to go first on the first game of the week. The Bills are favored by 3 points. This is on Monday night. This is a huge game, Steve.
It is the game of the week. What's the spread?
-3
3
for the Bills.
Bills -3. I'll tell you what. You got a team that's red hot. It's probably the best team in the AFC right now against probably one of the most talented team in the AFC who's not playing well. Games at Buffalo. Weather won't be a factor to either one of these teams. What's the health report, Dan? What's the injury? Of course, we're doing this on Wednesday, so we don't know.
I mean,
anybody have concern? Anybody have concern?
Buffalo has no real concerns of anybody. They're one of the most healthy, one of the healthier teams around. And New England, I don't see anything relevant either.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I think that the Pats have a tough schedule too coming up. They got some tough road games. That makes this an important win for them. And the Bills really are in a position where are they in a wild card spot right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they don't want to fall down. I'll tell you what.
Sefton says Patriots over the Bills by 7. What's up, Sefton?
Hey,
what
Sefton.
up, Sefton?
Sefton is surviving advance.
I'm going to go out and say I think the Bills. I'm going to give up the 3 points and take the Bills in this game. It's a home game. I think it's a must-win for the Bills to stay relevant in the playoff. They'll make the playoffs, but they need this win bigger than the Pats do. And I don't take anything away from Belichick. I would not even sweat this bet if it wasn't the fact that Belichick's in there and knows how to beat teams like the Bills. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills and give up the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Steve. I'm going to take the Bills also. Mac Jones is on the road. We haven't seen that a whole lot, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots get it. If the Patriots were to win this game, they're going to win this division, and I think could possibly be the number 1 seed. But I still think in the end, I still lean towards the Bills here. And my big thing here is neither team really will be able to run the ball. I think the difference is going to be Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs is a Buffalo Bill. Josh Allen's a Buffalo Bill. I think the Bills get this done, Dan.
I'm going to go New England on this one. They've won 6 straight. Mac Jones is on fire, and their defense is the second-ranked defense behind Buffalo. And we know Bill Belichick likes to take away what the best weapon for the opposing team is on offense. He likes to take that away. So I fully expect them to throw some different coverages towards whatever side Diggs is on. And Allen's a good quarterback, MVP candidate this year, but I think New England scheme's going to give him trouble this week. 3 is a nice line. Buffalo will absolutely win this game. They are very talented. I love me some Buffalo, but I'm going to go New England in this one.
All right,
tough
guys.
Pick. It's a tough pick. It's really a tough pick.
It's a really tough pick.
All right. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys, who have been kind of an enigma over the last 3 weeks, losing 2 out of 3. They will go to New Orleans to play the Saints. The Cowboys are favored by 5.5, Dan.
I'm going to go with Dallas. Pretty simple. Short week. Everybody, for the most part, is healthy. I know.
I talked to Randy today. He's coming back too.
I think DeMarcus Lawrence is actually expected to be back. If not this week, then soon. And Amari Cooper's going to be playing. He's off the COVID list, so they're going to have Cooper. They're going to have Lamb. They're going to have Zeke. He might still be health-wise, but he'll play. Jerry already said he's going to get a full workload, so we'll see what that means.
I think the big question, Dan, is this: what is the health of the New Orleans Saints?
They're shot, man. They're. It's still ugly. I'm looking at it now. Kamara is still limited. He was limited in practice, questionable this week. Ramczyk, their right tackle, also questionable still. He missed last week. Teron Armstead with a knee injury did not practice. That's, let's not forget Jameis Winston's still not there. Michael Thomas still not there, so on and so forth. The injuries just keep piling on. Marcus Davenport, defensive end, is going to be out with a shoulder injury, so that certainly doesn't help on defense. I like New Orleans defense even without Davenport and such, but Dallas is just too stacked, and I think they're going to come and really make a statement after an embarrassing game on Thanksgiving.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a statement because to me, this would be my lock of the week. And you talked about a short week. It's not a short week. This is not a short
Well,
week for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys lost on Thanksgiving last Thursday. They're going to have a week to prepare.
true.
The
Yeah, you're
Saints
right.
are a short week with players beat up. Plus, you have to go with the Cowboys because it looks like Mike McCarthy won't be able to coach. So they'll be a better team because of that. I'm going to take the Cowboys, Steve.
I agree. He's on COVID protocol.
Yep,
I
he's on
saw
COVID
that.
protocol.
So
Yep.
I think for all the reasons both you guys have said, I'll make this short. I'm taking Dallas and giving up the 5.5.
All right, Sefton agrees with you, Steve, so that should make you feel better.
It does.
It does. Sefton knows what he's talking about.
Sefton's the man.
All right, next up, we've got the Rams against the Jaguars. The Rams are favored by 13 points. Now, the thing that they're not.
Are they at the Jaguars?
I don't think it matters,
At the Rams.
Steve, but they're at the Rams. I think this. I think Trevor Lawrence is not very good. Urban Meyer is terrible. He's part of the reason Trevor Lawrence isn't any good. The Rams, let's face it, the Rams aren't any good right now. I mean, the Rams, when they play good football teams, they lose. When they play bad football teams, they win. With that being said, I will take the Rams. I don't like this spread, but I'm going to take the Rams here, Steve.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Mike. And I can't figure out why the Rams are playing so bad because they're talented. I don't know if they just misconnected with Sean McVay. I don't know what has caused this team to collapse like they have because they're not injured badly. Cup is still around. What's your quarterback's name?
Matthew Stafford. I think there are two issues here. I think the
Okay.
issues are this. They're losing to good teams. Matthew Stafford does not play very well against good teams. I think there is major issues on this team. You already know what I think of Sean McVay. I think he is an average football coach that had a lot of talent a couple of years and took advantage of it. I don't think this is a Super Bowl team. I don't think you can add guys like Odell Beckham and Von Miller in the middle of the season and actually have them come fit in seamlessly. And that's what you need to have happen. I think bringing in one guy may work, but a guy like Odell Beckham is a cancer to any football team. He's been a cancer in New York. He was a cancer in Cleveland. He'll be a cancer in LA. They may make the playoffs, but I don't even know if that's a sure thing right now.
Yeah, to make it short and to get over to Dan, I'm going to take the Rams like you. I think the Rams do play well against crappier teams. They score big.
Most people do.
Yeah, well, I can't say all. But, I'm taking the Rams with you, Mike, on this one.
All right, Dan, the man.
I'm going to take LA as well. It comes down to them just being the better team. I've been reading some stuff that Stafford is apparently banged up like he was in Detroit for most of his career. Every week, Stafford had something else wrong with him. But now he's dealing apparently with pain in his throwing arm, elbow, ankle, back pain, all sorts of problems.
What is he, 65? He sounds like
he
Risley.
might be, man. That's what happens when you play in Detroit for 12 years and your offensive line sucks and you have no running game and you got to do it all. You're running for your life every play. Yeah, you're going to age pretty quickly. He's also thrown pick six in 3 straight games, and he is now second all time in career pick sixes behind Brett Favre.
I know Brett Favre. Brett Favre owns all the bad records.
Which is a terrible stat that no one wants to break. But they're the better team when it comes down to it, and I don't trust the Jaguars at all. I'm going to go with LA.
Mike,
right,
Mike, does Urban Meyer make it to season 2?
Possibly just because the Jaguars are so poorly run and they've thrown so much money at him. I know Sefton brought that up earlier. I think I forgot to read that. Sorry about that, Sefton. But Steve caught it because Steve's the man, just like Dan's the man. So I think this. I don't think he should, the way things are going right now. But I think there's a decent chance he will just because he's got a name and he's got a huge contract that they probably have to buy out if they fire him.
His name's being tossed around for the Notre Dame job, too.
Well, I think
what a surprise.
Exactly. What a surprise.
I think this. I think from everything I've heard, Marcus Freeman will be named a head coach within the next 48 hours.
Hopefully so.
Good.
So I know there was a conversation with him today, and Marcus Freeman should be the coach.
He should.
Because right now, the thing about Notre Dame is they had 2 top 5 recruiting classes the last 2 years. This
Yes.
last one was because of Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman we talked about guys with good grades. There's a lot of guys with grades good enough to go play at Notre Dame, but they have a tendency to go to warmer weather. Marcus Freeman is a guy that will have young guys wanting to come play for him. Notre Dame can win a national championship with Marcus Freeman, and they can win it within the next 3 years.
Okay. Fair enough.
Next up, well, let's start off first. It's not just sports betting. Betting.net compares the best online casinos. Sit back, relax, and play the top online slots, poker, and table games. Check out betting.net. Next up, we've got the Washington football team at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 2.5, Steve.
Washington at the Raiders.
Raiders. Hang on, I'm writing it down.
2.5.
Raiders are giving up 2.5.
Yeah.
Wow, tough call here. Ooh.
Well, to give you some info, at least injuries wise, Waller's doubtful. He's probably not going to play in this game. Deshaun Jackson is also questionable with a calf injury that he sustained in the second half of last week's game against the Cowboys. And as far as Washington goes, injuries wise, as usual, they got a bunch of guys that are questionable or whatever, but you fully expect them to play guys like McKissick and Collins and so on and so forth.
I'll tell you what.
I'm not really worried about anything injuries-wise for Washington. It's more Vegas being without Waller, which is a huge.
I was impressed with Washington, not necessarily for their level of talent, but their draw. I mean, they stuck with it.
Well, I think Steve. I think the level of talent there is not bad. Terry McLaurin.
No, it's not. You're right. It's not bad.
I like Henneke at quarterback.
Henneke has done a marvelous job at quarterback for them, considering where he started. The guy was bagging groceries. You know, they put him on the practice squad. Next thing you know, he's no MVP candidate, but he's a star quarterback in the NFL.
He's a serviceable quarterback. He's a serviceable starter.
Great word.
The other thing about this game is the Raiders have Derek Carr. The Raiders were a team that looked dead in the water, had lost a couple in a row, got blown out by Cincinnati, and then they jump up and smack Dallas in Dallas. I think this is maybe the hardest game of the week to pick.
I know.
And it's a West Coast team going to the East, or East Coast team going all the way to the West Coast.
To the West, yep. That's always.
I don't know how you guys did it, but it was 85 and sunny out here today.
Good for you. You're gonna pick the game, or you're just gonna keep,
Yeah, I know.
Touching yourself and talking about the weather.
I'm gonna make myself vulnerable here, and I'm gonna take Washington and the 2.5 points in this game.
Well, I'll tell you this, Steve. You're not making yourself vulnerable because I'm taking Washington also. And I think if the Cowboys were to slip up and lose another game this week, I think Washington can win this division because I think Washington has a better coach in Ron Rivera. Talent-wise, they're not the same, but this is a hard-nosed football team. I think inherently they are tougher than Washington, and tougher than Dallas. And I think that's because Ron Rivera is a hard-nosed coach, and Mike McCarthy is a soft little girl in Dallas. So I think Washington has a chance to win this division. I think they have a chance to at least get a wild card, but I think this is almost a must-win. I'm going with the football team. How about you, Dan?
I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. Even though they're without Waller, their offense was humming last week, and I expect this to be a very good game. Washington's hot. They've won 3 in a row, but I'm going to take Vegas. I'm going to take Carr.
All right, Steve.
It's not a wrong pick. Not a wrong pick, Dan. I mean,
it's a wrong pick. It's a wrong pick. One of us is going to be wrong, Steve. His is wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go with you on that because you and I picked together. But I don't think it's a very difficult pick to make either side of the fence on this game.
I got to make up some ground, boys. I got to make up some ground. So hopefully,
you got to take a chance. No, I agree. You can't do the definition of insanity. He's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
I know. We do it every week. Georgia, Bama will be a hit fest, Sefton says. Go Dogs. I'm taking the football team here. Georgia's going to beat the brakes off Alabama.
And tell him the college show was last night, Sefton.
Yeah, come on, Sefton. You should have been on the college show.
This is the NFL Pick'em show.
Yeah, come on.
Bonehead.
That'd be as dumb as starting to show off talking about Major League Baseball. Yeah, all right, next up, Minnesota at Detroit. And to me, Minnesota comes off a tough loss in San Francisco. They played really well, but there's going to be no Dalvin Cook. Detroit will run the ball on them. I'm not picking Detroit to win the game, but I'm going to take Detroit to 7 points here, Dan.
You're going to take Detroit. Well, you know what, Mike? I'm ready to hurt, baby, because I'm going to take Detroit as well against my better instincts. I feel like, I don't know, even without Dalvin Cook, I don't really think it matters. Madison runs the ball very well every time.
Yeah, but the thing about that is this. If they want to get in a run-heavy game, only having one of those two guys makes that guy tired. The other thing is Minnesota has not stopped to run well lately. Detroit's run heavy, and they've done a good job running the ball. Like I said, I think Minnesota wins the game. I think this may be a backdoor cover where maybe it's a 24-13 game, and right at the end, Detroit gets a cheap touchdown. But I just think the points here are too much to take Minnesota.
I also question where Detroit's offense is coming from. Swift is not going to play this week. I know we got Williams back there, and he's a hard runner, and he's a good runner, and he's done well for us when he's gotten starters touches. But I don't trust this offense. Even with Swift, I didn't trust this offense. Without Swift, it's even worse, I think. I'm gonna go with Detroit, but I think Minnesota's gonna win this game. I think it should be interesting. I'm just going to go with Detroit.
I think also the thing to remember is you have a team coming from the West Coast back to the East, or back to the Midwest at least, after a really tough loss. And I think that plays into effect. And plus this, Detroit, Dan Campbell's in over his head. Mm-hmm. But I think this, if you play for Dan Campbell, I think right now they're going to circle the wagons around Dan Campbell. And I think you're going to see a great effort by this football team. And I think Dan Campbell is a hell of a football coach. He's just not a head football coach.
Yeah, he makes it's frustrating, man, because the team is undisciplined. We had way too many penalties on Thanksgiving. He makes way too many mistakes. Like, how are you a professional NFL head coach and you're going to call back-to-back timeouts? Are you kidding me?
Actually, as a Bengals fan, I've seen multiple coaches do that.
That's stupid, and they should be just embarrassed with themselves.
No, the thing that should embarrass them is the fact that they didn't know it was a penalty to do it.
That's even worse if they don't know that. How the hell are
you wouldn't call it if you knew it.
Level, and you don't even know what the penalties are? You're a disgrace.
Screw you, Dan. Are you talking to me or Steve?
I'm talking to Dan Campbell. I hope he hears this.
Okay. Steve, Minnesota, Detroit. You going to go with the underdog here? You going to try to pick up a free game?
No, I'm going to go with Minnesota and give up 7 points. And Dan, you took who?
He took Detroit.
All right.
I took Detroit.
Both you guys took Detroit.
With the points.
Yep.
So.
All right. Next up, the Arizona
pivotal game, Mike. First pivotal game we've had.
Not really.
Well, it is for points wise.
We still got like
one
6
we haven't
weeks
picked together.
Chill out, relax. The Cardinals at the Bears. Steve, 7.5 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
But I tell you what, I watched that Bears Detroit game. Oh man,
the Bears got lucky. They played such an inept franchise.
The Bears just flat out.
Hey, wait a second here. Now, let's not overlook Chicago when it comes to inept franchises. They're pretty much close to each other, Dan.
Yeah, I watched that game.
As bad as Detroit, man.
Hey, you know what? At least you guys had Bobby Lane. You know, Sid Luckman in the 1940s was the last great Bears quarterback.
Why on earth do they put that game on Thanksgiving Day?
Because it's tradition. It's
tradition. I understand Detroit's played every Thanksgiving Day. But my God, that game was pathetically awful.
It was awful.
It was an awful game to showcase the NFL on a day when a lot of men are sitting around and women are cooking turkeys and coming in and bringing.
That is so sexist.
It is sexist, and I knew that was going to come up when I said it. I don't mean it that way, but it's realistically what happens. My wife cooked the turkey. I told her.
She cooked a turd is what you said.
I told her I would go to Honey Baked Ham and buy her a dadgum 20-pound ham, and she didn't have to cook.
See, I don't even think you should be allowed to eat turkey anymore because the problem with turkey is after you eat it, you feel like you're going to die the rest of the day.
Man, no. I eat turkey.
You just got to sit there like, hell.
That tryptophan crap kicked in.
Yeah.
I think I slept through the second game.
Yeah, you look like a bunch
Probably.
of college kids that just
I
smoked
know.
a
I
bong
was
or
like,
something.
are you going to watch the game? Can I watch Heidi? You know.
Yeah, and then the
Geez.
next day there's leftovers, and I'm thinking I'll just eat a
Oh, I
little
know.
bit, and it'll be all right. And I just ate a little bit. Next thing you know, I'm watching
I
the
told
Cincinnati
my
game,
wife.
and I'm sitting there like this again, and my eyes will
No.
barely stay open. It's horrible.
I told my wife, I said, Tia, I will drive anywhere in LA and get you whatever you want on Friday, just so I do not have to have turkey salad or turkey sandwich or give the damn turkey to the dogs. They like it. It's
Hey,
good
you
for
know
them.
what? This is my question. If turkey is so damn good, why do people only eat it one time out of the year?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
Dan,
pain
do
in the
you
butt to
fix it?
cook.
Does your mommy fix you a turkey more than once a year?
No, absolutely not.
Steve, does Tia fix a turkey more than once a year?
No.
Exactly. So it's
For
stupid.
Christmas we are having steak and lobster. You know, we will do steak and lobster for Christmas.
You gonna go to the Biden's house to eat it or what?
No, we're going to do it at our house.
Oh hell! All right, Seth that says Arizona ain't losing to Chicago. Kyler or no Kyler? What do you
Well,
think?
no, I don't. Seth and I agree with you. The problem is, are they going to win by more than 7.5 points? This isn't a question of who's going to win this game so
Yeah,
much,
and you'll have Andy Dalton playing, right?
which is
Which
an
gives you a
equalizer.
chance.
I mean, I still like Andy Dalton. I'm
Well,
not going
I
never
don't
going to give
understand.
up him is one of my
How many
favorite
games
quarterbacks.
has Justin Fields thrown for 300 yards so far?
One, maybe.
Maybe
I'd have to look it up.
combined a couple games.
Anyway, to move this along, I'm going to take the Cards and give up the points.
Ooh, you sure, Steve?
Cards.
I'm sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking Arizona also. It looks like Hopkins and Kyler Murray will be back. The point spread always worries me above 7 in any NFL game.
Exactly.
But I'm going to go with Arizona also. Hopefully Kyler Murray will find his stride quickly. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona as well in this one. I have no confidence at all in Chicago. I have no confidence in Andy Dalton. And with Kyler Murray come back, I think that's what puts him over the top.
All right, guys. Sefton takes Arizona and will cover by 17 points. All right, next up, Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Atlanta's getting 10.5 points, Dan.
Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Well, this line could have been 20 points, and I probably would have taken Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in this one. Gronk is back. Brady's right. That offense is humming even without Brown. Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny, doing things. Beat me this past week. The only reason why I lost my fantasy matchup. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Steve.
Yeah, I tell you what.
It still scares me to give 10.5 points to Matt
I know,
Ryan,
that's what I was
you
just
never
gonna
know when he's going to
say.
get hot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's his name? Matt Ryan is not playing bad football. It's just not gelled on that team, and they lack talent. But Matt Ryan is a dangerous quarterback who, you know, if he's got anybody can catch the ball, he can light you up. 10.5 points. I mean, I tell you, and I go back, and I know you're going to guys give me shit. The Colts had Tampa Bay on the ropes, except for the third quarter. You know, they had them on the ropes.
Yeah, and Tampa
They
Bay
did.
tends to play down to the competition.
Thank
I mean,
you,
they
Mike.
do. I mean, when you look at them, they have in the past. They did last year, even.
Yeah, and I can't say anything to disagree because they won the game.
Yeah, I'm not
In
talking about the
typical
Colts
Tom Brady
because
fashion. I mean,
they had
typical
to play
Tom Brady way to
Put
win
it
a
like
game.
I'm not denigrating your Colts. I'm just saying that they played
No,
in
I
competition.
understand.
The Colts played well, so did
Yeah.
they.
But then again, so they only ended up beating the Colts by 7, which is my concern. It's not the fact that I don't think Tampa Bay is going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game.
And it's at Atlanta, and
It's at Atlanta, you know, and I know how the frenzy was in Indianapolis when Tampa Bay comes in. I mean, it's like the Beatles coming in.
And you know, all the
playing your
Falcon
stadium.
fans are going to show up screaming because
Oh,
they
sure,
hate Tom
yeah.
Brady. So,
But I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and take Tampa Bay on this one, and I think this is it's a tough call. It may be the toughest call I'm going to make this week, just because of that 10.5 points. But I think Tampa Bay. Gronk looked really good, and you know he's just back. So give him another week. Gronk and Brady hook up. Big stuff can happen, and he's got good receivers. And, yeah, I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
All right, I think this is a no-brainer, so we'll make this quick. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I was just trying to talk Steve into picking Atlanta. Dan?
One quick fun stat. Actually, two
I think
things.
I got close, too. Go ahead.
You did. He was
You
thinking
did.
about it.
You did.
He was really thinking about it. Two things. One with Atlanta, one of the main reasons besides how good Tampa Bay is that I went with them is when I look at Atlanta, I see a battered offense. Without Calvin Ridley on the outside, Kyle Pitts has no help over the middle of the field. Cordero Patterson's been great for him, but he can't do it all, even though he had 2 touchdowns last week over against Jacksonville or whatever. So I'm gonna.
He could do enough to cover the spread, though.
Nah. I'm going with Tampa Bay. And then fun stat with Tampa Bay: Gronk now has 30 career 100-yard games, which is second all time. Who do you guys think is first all time at tight end?
Are you talking about tight end Tony Gonzalez?
Tony Gonzalez, and how many times do you think he had over 100 yards receiving?
45.
50.
Way too high. It's 31. So Gronk.
That means I won because I was the closest.
You were the closest. So Gronk needs to get one more. He ties Tony. 2 more 100-yard games. He passes him. So fun stat there.
All right, guys, another fun stat is find the best place to bet for you. BettingDead.net offers expert and user reviews for every online sportsbook and casino in your state. Risley's giggling because they screwed up a little bit. We all know that hardly ever happens.
Hardly ever.
You are correct.
All right, next up, the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Somebody's got a Texas jersey on. Somebody's got a Colts shirt on. So, Dan, does Houston cover? Can they lose by less than 8?
What's the spread?
8.5.
8.5 for Indy. Indy minus 8.5. You know what? I'm going to take Indy on this one. They're going to want to run the ball. They spent the whole third quarter not giving Taylor the rock. They're not going to make that mistake this week. He's going to get 30 touches. He's going to get 200 total yards. He's going to score 3 touchdowns. They're just going to run over Houston.
Yeah, I agree. And Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback for Houston, and he's not bad, but he's just a guy.
Terrible, but
he's just a guy. I mean, he's a solid, serviceable NFL quarterback. Steve?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Colts, of course.
Got to, man. You got to.
Right. I've told you I'm not betting against my team for the rest of the season. Okay. I'll take the hit.
Okay.
But fine. I'm not betting against my team.
Okay.
So and I'm in my Clark Kent disguise.
You're not really betting against your team when there's a point spread involved, by the way.
And I'm betting against the spread, right? But I'm in my Clark Kent. So
I just don't want to get to the end of the season and I've beaten you because you just picked the Colts all year, and then you whine and act like that was the reason. So you have to promise you will not be a big old-headed girl and complain just because you picked the Colts, because that is your choice.
Wait, Steve,
no. I've not. If I said anything negative, I've defended.
No, because you haven't lost yet, and then use the excuse.
I lost last week. The spread was only 2.5 points.
But what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, right, Dan?
I mean, if I had not picked the Colts, I'd be up 2 points on you. So I sacrificed that point because
right there he uses the excuse. That's a bitch move, dude.
No, it's not.
Sit here. Yes, it is to sit here and say,
shut up.
Don't you tell me to shut up. You're the dumbass on here wasting time giving excuses on your picks.
I'm telling you that.
Be a damn man and make your pick.
Rooting for my own team is more important to me than beating you in some stupid
You're not rooting. You're
no payout. What is betting.now and you, who has all the money, paying out for the winner of this pool?
Betting.net. You're not going to win because I will win.
Well, then who are they paying out? What are you paying out?
They don't have to pay out anybody because I'm going to win. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. You're going to make your lousy-ass excuse, well, it's because I was loyal to my team and picked the Colts every week, and you just did it. You just did it.
I did not.
Dan, did he not just do that? Well, last week I'd have beat you by a game if I wouldn't have taken the
I already beat you.
You didn't say that?
Woulda, coulda.
Mike, you did say that.
But
what I beat you by is not material. The key operative word there is I beat you.
You didn't beat me last week. We were tied, dumbass.
We all tied. So what's it going to be? Philly minus 7. What's it going to be, boys?
Well, right now, Sefton says Philly is angry after last week's L. I expect the bug game from them. I think he means huge game versus the Jets, 30-17 Eagles. The only problem is Philadelphia doesn't have a quarterback, so that's always
Are you
kind of
putting
scary.
the thing up on the thing?
I was letting everybody see what Sefton said because I figured that
Philly
maybe
at the
people would want
Jets.
to. All right, Steve, Eagles at the Jets. Eagles favored by 7.
So Jets plus 7. I'm going with the Eagles, so I'll make it easy.
All right, I'm going to go with the Jets. I think Jalen Hurts is pretty shitty, to tell you the truth. And if they let him throw the ball more than 20 times, the Jets will win. I think the Jets are a team that has actually improved, Dan.
This is a tough game. This is a really tough game because I don't trust Philadelphia to win this game by 7. I think they could very well win the game.
Oh, yeah, I think they'll win the game, but I think 7 points is way too much with Jalen Hurts at quarterback.
But that's the weird thing. Like Philly has those weird games where they get it going on the ground. Jalen Reagor doesn't drop 2 touchdown passes.
That was when they played the Detroit Lions. Get over it, Dan.
You know, they have those games though. And let's be real, the Jets are not a good team. They haven't gotten it going on either side of the ball. Wilson, when he plays, he's a rookie and he makes rookie mistakes. They don't instill any sort of confidence, the Jets, and this is tough, man. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Reluctantly, I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think Philly wins, and they could very well blow the Jets out.
I think Steve's trying to stare you down and intimidate you while you make this pick.
No.
For this, I'm gonna go with the Jets for this exercise.
All right, Steve, you gonna go with us and the Jets, or you gonna take the Eagles?
I already said I'm taking Philly.
Oh, you are? Okay. Next up, we have the game of the week: the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals, who I like to refer to as Cincinnati's team. All right, Bengals Chargers. What do you think, Steve? Bengals favored by 3.
I'm taking Bengals all the way. I think the Chargers are a little. I don't think that. What's Chargers quarterback's name?
Justin Herbert.
Herbert is just not consistent yet. He's brilliant at times, and then he's just inconsistent at times, and just mishmashes all around. I think that the Bengals quarterback, what's his name?
Joe Burrow.
Has got his crap together. I think he's really got his crap together and has established himself as a good quarterback. I think the coach is leaving this team alone enough, the Bengals, to play their own game. They're clicking. Mixon is a beast. He's probably right now one of the 2 best running backs in the NFL right now, actively playing, along with Taylor.
Nick Chubb, yeah.
Yeah, and Chubb. But, those 3, Taylor, Mixon, and Chubb.
Taylor's coach doesn't even think he's any good. He only gave him the ball 16 times last week.
Yeah, I know. That was – anyway, I'm not getting back into that.
Foolish.
Because I'm not going to blame the Colts or take the Colts or anything. So, but I think the Bengals are a solid team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they can win that division. And I think they can do some damage in the playoffs. I would not want to be a team getting a bye or something like that and have to face the Bengals. Or
right now, Steve,
first round.
The Bengals are only a game off of having to bye in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. So the Bengals are maybe one of the most underrated teams in the NFL at this moment. I believe it's a good football team, and they're playing good football.
I think people are still waiting to find out if they're that good or not, because you did have
I know.
the 2 back-to-back weeks where they were terrible.
But they haven't shown me they're not yet.
I will say this. Zach Taylor has done a great job since the bye week coaching his team. The play calling is different. And the Chargers' problem is this. The Chargers are very talented, but they can't stop the run. You're going to go to Cincinnati where it's going to be 35, 40 degrees, overcast, maybe raining. Joe Mixon's going to have a huge game here. And let's face it, the people that think that Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow are absolute complete morons. And
I'm in your camp there.
That's just true. I mean, when you watch the two, there is a huge difference between Burrow and Herbert. It doesn't necessarily matter in this one game.
Mike, in watching the Bengals play, since I got direct ticket, I can see every game now. I can flip to any game I want.
And the defense is really good, Steve.
My concern with Burrow is he's a little bit like Andrew Luck. He's not afraid to run the football. He's a big quarterback, and, that killed Luck. That put luck out of the league.
Now, a bad offensive line making him forced to run.
Well,
Yeah.
regardless of it, the fact that he didn't take a knee or slide and go down.
But actually,
he
the
hit
Bengals' offensive
linebackers.
line's been pretty good.
You got to remember,
this year.
Andrew Luck was 6'5" and 250 pounds.
Yeah.
He was no little guy.
I don't think he was 250 pounds, but
240 pounds.
I don't think he was 200.
He was a big boy.
I think he was 236 and a half.
Yeah, 6'5",
All right.
235.
Sefton says, go to betting.net and buy all my picks. So, if you want to go to betting.net with Sefton, you can head over to their website now to take advantage of things like free bets and matching deposits. What do you think, Dan? Bengals or Chargers?
I'm going to go with Cincinnati in this one. It breaks my heart. You guys know Herbert holds a special place in my heart.
Why is that? Because he looks similar to a woman?
He's a beautiful man. It's fine. But no.
Oh,
Now, Herbert holds a special place in my heart. I don't know. I just like him. I like him coming out of Oregon. I like.
What do you like? Do you like the fact that he can't really read a defense that well and he throws one or two untimely interceptions every game and he's a front runner? Is it that?
He did have an ugly game last week, throwing a pick six and throwing.
Dude, he's had more than an ugly game in the last 4 weeks.
It was ugly. He's still young, getting the kinks out. I think he'll be fine. Like you said a few weeks ago, you could see him being a top 10, top 12 quarterback.
You realize this. He was drafted where in the NFL draft? What pick?
6th, I believe.
6th? So being the 12th best quarterback would not be successful.
No,
if
that's
you
fair.
pick a quarterback in the top 10 picks and he doesn't win a Super Bowl, he was a bust.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fair to say.
And Joe Burrow has played less NFL games than Justin Herbert has.
Herbert has had that raw skill coming out. He looked like a baby Josh Allen in terms of size. Not the kind of arm that Allen has, but still an elite arm. Athletic guy, can move around. He's got the look. I think he'll be fine. I think he's got a high trajectory. He's got to work the kinks out, get his act together. I think Brian Bulaga is going to be coming back this week, which is going to be a huge help. Plug him in at right tackle, beef up that offensive line because it did struggle last week against Denver. I'm going to go Cincinnati here. They're the better team. Burrow is better right now. That offense.
He will always be better, Dan.
If they're going to run the ball like they did last week and Mixon's just going to tear it up on the ground and they can get that play action working, I don't see how you stop that offense.
Well, I look at it like this. They went and played Melvin Gordon into Denver Broncos and got overran. I mean, I watched them on, what was it, 3rd and goal from the 9. Gordon ran a dive for a touchdown. That should not happen in a high school football game.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we get the New York Giants.
Wait, I want to say one thing
go ahead.
about Herbert. I just don't see him developing like I see Burrow developing.
Oh, I think Burrow was developed by the time he got to the NFL. I think Joe Brady, who was the
Burrow
offensive
is still
coordinator,
getting better to the NFL scheme. And I don't see Herbert making the same progress at the same rate of speed that Burrow's doing it. I've become a little bit, not disenchanted, but a little less high on Herbert than I was earlier, just because I just don't think he's growing as fast as he should. But, Burrow is just making all the right moves and doing all the right things to become a bona fide star quarterback in the NFL. If he's not already there.
And guys, let's not make believe that Herbert's playing poorly. The man's got
24.
He's got 24 touchdowns and 10 picks. It's not terrible.
Right. I agree with you.
Wait a second. You know what? This is the thing. Stats are for losers. What's his record?
I'm sorry?
What's his record? Stats are for losers.
They're
about winning
6 and 5.
And I will tell you this. Wait, shut up for a second. Stats don't lie. The last 3 games, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So you could sit there and you could read what he did the first half of the season, but these last 3 games, 5 interceptions or 4 interceptions, sorry about that, 6 touchdowns, 4 picks. That does not get you to the playoffs. That does not make you an elite quarterback.
Joe Burrow has 5 interceptions in the last 4 games, and he has more interceptions on the year. Why aren't you chastising him like you do with Herbert?
Because he wins.
How
about this? The difference is this. I watched Joe Burrow throw consecutive interceptions against Chicago, or 3 consecutive, and then on the very his next 2 passes, he threw touchdowns. I have never seen Justin Herbert overcome his shortcomings. And being a great quarterback is about being able to overcome your shortcomings. And you're
Burrow's
going to
thrown-
make bad throws. You're going to
Burrow's
throw
thrown
picks.
a pick in 6 of his last 7 games, but you'll just
for
overlook that
him.
because that's your boy.
No,
It's
because he
terrible.
wins.
It's terrible. It's a double standard. And it's
wins.
close.
Hey,
It's
No,
Mike,
it's not a
Mike,
double standard. It's
Mike,
not a
how-
double standard.
It's
How
a
many
double standard.
interceptions
Your
has
man's got
Brady
14 picks.
how many
14 picks?
interceptions has Brady thrown?
12.
Brady has probably thrown more than Burrow and Herbert.
Yeah,
Brady's
how many
got
interceptions?
9.
Yeah.
Nine
So what the
interceptions.
hell is your point? Once again, if
I'm
you're going
making
to
a
look
point.
at stats, you're a loser.
I'm making
Yeah.
a point. The point is, I watched the game obviously between the Colts and the Bucks, and Brady threw interceptions. It didn't phase him. He went right to the bench, started talking to his coaches
That
about
is
the
the
next series
difference.
of downs.
Yes.
He didn't even bat an eye about throwing a pick.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that is
not
what
even
I don't
batted
see
an
with
eye.
Herbert.
And
So-
I watched the press conference post game with Herbert, and he was being apologetic. He was trying to make excuses for the picks and things of that nature. It's just a different. And Herbert will be. I look at Herbert as possibly getting to Garoppolo, getting to that level of quarterback.
I don't think he can be that good.
And I think you're right, Mike.
That's horrid.
But I'm trying to
Mike,
find
look at
somebody
that
to
smile
measure
on
him
Mike's
to.
face. He knows what he said.
Yeah, because, I mean, every time you sit here and talk crap about Jimmy Garoppolo, he comes out and he wins the damn game.
So
and he
every
puts up
time
36
you
points.
talk crap about Jimmy Garoppolo, you show your absolute New Jersey ignorance.
Yeah, so you want to
It's what
talk to
you
me,
do.
but you do not care what Jimmy Garoppolo's stats are because you know what? You
Not at
shouldn't.
all.
It's about
Not
winning
at
the
all.
game. And I can tell you this.
Yeah.
No, Dan, hold on a second. If you were going to be an NFL scout, do you care about a highlight film?
Highlight film? No. Highlights are irrelevant.
What do you care about? What is the first thing you're looking at for a quarterback?
Accuracy, poise.
No, not even
Leadership.
close. No. What I want to see if I'm coaching a quarterback is I want to go through the film and I want to find out what happens when he screws up. And I want to see how he reacts when he heads to the sideline, how he interacts with the guys around him. Justin Herbert has a tendency to Peyton Manning to stuff, which means the head drops. I mean, Steve, I guarantee you, I think Peyton Manning's an all-time top 10 quarterback. The difference between Brady and Manning, you just explained.
Yeah,
When Brady
I agree
threw
with you. I agree with you.
interceptions, his body
Manning
language
took it
never
personally.
changes.
Manning took an interception personally.
Yeah, he
Brady
was
doesn't.
upset about it. And
Yeah, he was
Brady's
upset. No,
not.
you're exactly right. That's a great assessment. You're
And
spot
also,
on.
real quick, if you want to go with the accuracy and everything, how do you know if a quarterback's going to be accurate or not?
Because accuracy translates. And it's not a matter
No,
of high
whoa. See, this is the thing.
It's
this
not
is
a matter
some
of high
bullshitting-
completion
Wait, this
percentage.
is some
That can be-
ESPN bullshit. It's ESPN bullshit. Tell me how you can tell. If you watch film of a quarterback, what's the first thing you look at to tell if he's a good quarterback or not?
I gave you 3 things I look for. I look
You
for
didn't give me
accuracy. I look for
anything.
poise in the pocket.
But
and I like to see how he
what
handles
causes
the rush.
accuracy? What causes accuracy?
If your feet are in the right position, how your shoulders are lined up, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And what it is your hip. If your
Your
hip
hip.
goes before your shoulder when you throw the ball, you will be an accurate quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's problem, go watch his film, his hip was always behind the arm. Josh Allen, the thing that improved Josh Allen was if you watch film his first 2 years, the shoulder was always before the hip. Now it's not. Last year it started where the hip came through. The hip has to pull you through to be accurate. If your hip stays back when you throw the ball, you end up throwing more arm than anything else, so you end up high and in front of somebody or behind somebody. So when you told me last week that all these people are telling you who can be a quarterback, none of these people ever explain to you. They'll say, well, he's not accurate. He can't read a defense. I hate to tell you this, but 90% of the guys on ESPN were never a quarterback, never coached a quarterback. Most of them weren't coaches. They cannot tell you how to read a defense themselves. You know, they could give you some bullshit excuse, but in the NFL, if this defense comes out lined up in cover 2, the chances of seeing cover 2 when the ball's snapped are almost nil. You know, it's going to go to cover 3, it's going to go to cover 4, it's going to go to 0, because they're going to try to give you a pre-snap read and then change it, so you have to make the read during the play. Right now, what I see from Justin Herbert is he cannot make that read yet. It's why the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots always tear his ass up, because they've got the 2 best coaches in the NFL. And, you know, what is the record with Belichick? He's lost to like 1 rookie quarterback in his entire career.
Something like
So
that.
my problem with Herbert is this though. I saw that against New England last year as a rookie. That's fine. But I saw it again this year against Baltimore. Now I've watched Joe Burrow pick Baltimore apart this year the week after with the same stuff being thrown at him. That is the difference. Joe Burrow's a top 5 guy for the next decade. Justin Herbert has the ability to be a top 10 guy. But he needs somebody to coach him. Joe Burrow's big advantage here is Joe Brady, who I think now is the OC at Carolina, was his OC with the New Orleans Saints. Joe Brady is as good an offensive coordinator as there is in the NFL. You know, and I don't care what goes on at Carolina because they have no quarterback.
Yeah.
They have a running back that always hurt. They have nothing on the offensive line. Joe Brady someday will be a great coach in the NFL. I think he should have a job as soon as this year is over.
Bro, he might.
He should. I mean, if I was the New York Giants, I'd jump all over him and see if there's a chance he can fix Daniel Jones. Because what I see with Daniel Jones is it's not like he's Dwayne Haskins. He does have moments where he looks like he might be starting to get it, but I think he needs somebody to explain it to him better and to be able to get him through that progression. But to me, body language is the most important thing out of everything for a quarterback. Because I guarantee you this, if I'm coaching against your team and your quarterback drops his head after something bad happens, I'm screaming at my players to look at him. You know, that's blood in the water for sharks when you see that. Because that quarterback with his head down, everybody on the team sees him with his head down. And to be a great quarterback, everybody has to believe, no matter how bad you're playing, that in the end, you will win them the game. That's what being a quarterback is. I don't care how you throw a football. I don't care about any of that crap. Because all these guys can throw the ball at least 40 yards. How many passes in the NFL are thrown farther than 40 or 45 yards?
Not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
And you know, Mike, that's exactly what I said about when the Colts scored and tied the game with 1:40 to go. I said, screw it. We're not going to win this game.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady.
Brady's going to win the game. It's Tom Brady. There's no way the Colts are going to win this game. He's going to march them down at least to a chip shot field goal, and they ended up getting a touchdown. So you're exactly right there. And anyway, going back to your scout thing, what's the first thing I look at with a quarterback? It's how many people came to his 21st birthday party. How many other players?
Bo Callahan.
The perfect example. Who was the quarterback?
Callahan.
Who was the quarterback from Michigan State? Was it Connor Cook or something?
Connor Cook.
That never was named a captain on his high school team or any of the 4 years at Michigan State. And we had a Raiders guy at the time. I got rid of him because he was a dumbass. But he was sitting there. It was before Steve, I think. But he would get mad because I
don't worry. He's gotten rid of me several times.
I've never gotten rid of Steve
because he found more dumbasses.
No, it's just because I found better shit to do with my time. But real quick, Sefton, we're going to go ahead and Sefton wants us to give a shout out to Orville
Definitely.
Higgins
Jamaica
Lord Zidane Matthews, the host of his local sports talk radio station out of Kingston, Jamaica. They are the Caribbean leader in sports. Heck, if you want to put a link up here to your show, Sefton, you can, or on thegrillingtruth.com. We would love to listen because Steve likes to fake Jamaican accents anyway.
No, my son dates a girl who was born and raised in Jamaica.
Nice.
And, you know.
She hadn't met you yet?
Yeah, she has.
And she hasn't dumped him yet?
No.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm quite charming.
Yeah, but see, the scary thing is this. I was always told when you marry a woman, look at her mom and that's what you're going to get someday. So if I'm this girl, I'm looking at your son, who's a lot better looking than you were even when you were younger, but I'm still a little worried that he's going to end up with an enormous head by the time he's 60 years old.
Mr. Mackey head.
Hey, what are you talking about? You got your hat on backwards.
You know what? I was born with this. I didn't ask for it.
You know what my daddy told me?
Let's move on to the next game.
You know what my daddy told me when I was little, Dan?
53 minutes into this.
If you wear your hat forwards, you're a leader. If you wear it backwards, you're a follower.
You said that in the last 3 shows.
I have not. I've only said it once.
Dan, has he said that the last 3 shows?
I think that's the first time I've heard it, but I just stop listening to him sometimes.
Okay. No, you don't, because you wouldn't realize I just said it if you did.
Like, this is something else I need to do is put another feather in his cap. Andrew Luck was 6'4" and 236 pounds.
Told you.
Without the beard.
I would have guessed
Without the beard.
235 though. So
Without the beard.
I think it was 235 without the beard. He was 236 with. All right, next up, we got the Giants and the Dolphins. These are two teams that have played much better, especially the Dolphins, who are riding a 4-game winning streak. Tua's played really well. Jalen Waddle has broke out. Myles Gaskin running the ball well. The Giants, on the other hand, defensively, the Giants are a really good football team right now, Dan, and I think they are a threat here. The Dolphins are favored by 3.
I'm going to go with Miami on this one. This is going to be a close game. This is really, I like what the Giants did against Philadelphia. McKinney in the secondary at safety is coming on. He's looking like a nice find for them in the second round. But there's something about this Giants team. I don't know if it's Jones and his just ability, I guess. I guess you could say at this point his ability, because it really takes talent to be this mediocre. Turn the ball over, take untimely sacks, to make stupid throws on third down. It's just one thing after another with this guy. Saquon is too dependent on the big run. And like you said, Miami is on fire lately. Tua is impressing me. Another week where he has an 80% completion percentage or higher.
Yeah, we need to have Sam Teets on. Remember when I told him I thought Tua was better than Trevor Lawrence and he almost peed in his pants last year, Steve?
Yep, I do. He's been kind of quiet lately.
I mean, I'll still take Lawrence over Tua, but I love Tua.
Well, you're wrong.
But I'm going to
Trevor
take
Lawrence
Miami.
looks like Martina Navratilova, dude.
One. What's that now?
Trevor Lawrence looks like Martina Navratilova.
What does that have to do with anything, you idiot?
Because it's funny as hell.
Yeah, it's really random, but I like it.
Yeah, it's really random.
Why, you don't think it's true?
I don't.
Yes, I do, but it's random.
You don't think it's true? All right, hold on.
No, I said yes, I do, but it's random.
No, but Dan said he didn't think that.
Oh, well, Dan probably didn't even know who Martina Navratilova is.
I do want to say Jalen Phillips is coming on strong also, the rookie pass rusher. They took in the first round out of Miami. He had 3 sacks this past week. This Giants offensive line loves getting beat off the edge. He might have another big game this week.
All right, so we're going to do this real quick, Dan. You're picking the Dolphins, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, I'm going to show you a picture of Martina Navratilova. Have you ever heard of her?
To be honest with you, I don't know who that is.
Oh, my God.
What? She's the greatest female tennis player of all time.
How did you get your sorry ass on this show?
All right, right here is Martina Navratilova. Can you see that on here?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, now I'm going to show you something.
Wait, is that Martina or is that Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence?
That's Martina.
I got to look with my glasses.
That's Martina, all right?
No, that's Trevor
Lawrence. That's Trevor Lawrence!
That's Martina.
You tell me they don't look alike, Dan.
Do the one next to it.
Hold on a second. I got to go back and see where I am. Which one? Here?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like him?
Dear Lord. That might be his mother.
It is his mother, but I think is
wait, do the one right below it with the headband. Do the one right below it.
Think she's lesbian, Mike? Come on, give me a break.
I know she's a lesbian because she had a lesbian girlfriend.
Nah, that might be his mom, yo. Hold on.
Which would explain why
it's not his mom, I'll guarantee you that.
No.
Really, Martina Navratilova, I think, is the greatest female women's tennis player.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
She went through one season where she won all tournaments but one, and only lost one match the entire year.
I think that was the year her and Ivan Lendl were going apeshit bananas on tennis.
Yeah.
Lendl was the male form of Martina.
Here we go. Sefton. Oh, no. How comes Dan don't know who Martina Sugarpova is? Come on,
Sugarpova. That's a nickname they give
Martina Sugarpova.
That's a game to Maria Sharapova because she has a candy line. And it's called Sugarpova.
That's awesome.
Does it? I don't know.
I want to get back to something real quick here. Sefton, you got to tell your buddies on Orville and Lorde, we can form our timeline to fit your time thing. If you want to put our show on your radio, on their radio for a week, we'll entertain Jamaica. I guarantee you.
And we'll make sure that Steve and Dan don't cuss so much.
Yeah, we'll be G-rated, but if you want to give us a time frame, how much time we have to work with, and I'll tell you what, betting.now will support us.
It's betting.net, Steve.
Damn it. Betting.net.
Yeah, but Steve's a guy that still thinks Jacoby Brissett's name's Jacoby Brisket. So, what are you going to do? Steve, Giants and
No, I'm
Ravens.
the one who thinks who's the Dak Shepard is Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak Shepard, too, is Dak Prescott. Yes. Giants
I'm
and
gonna
Dolphins,
go
Steve.
with the Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins. They're riding a winning streak. They're playing at home. They're hot. I just don't think the Giants have it this year. And I know you and I talked about them being.
The Giants haven't had it since 2008.
I know, but they're a second half of the season team.
They
historically,
were.
but they were. I agree, but I'm taking the Dolphins easily.
Hey, historically, the Pittsburgh Steelers were good. All right, next up, the Baltimore.
Who are you taking?
Oh, I'm taking Miami. The Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are 3-point underdogs here. Not a big spread, but the way, Dan's guy, Lamar Jackson, has played as of late, this is going to be a close game. It's a division rivalry. Pittsburgh has to win this one, or their season's pretty much done. What do you think, Steve?
Pittsburgh's +3, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's Baltimore -3.
This is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Ravens. This game's
I don't think this is a no-brainer because neither one of these teams are playing very well right now.
No, but I think the Ravens have the capability of playing well. Also, I heard that Tomlin say there definitely will be a shakeup and changes made for the next game. I saw that on an ESPN article I was reading. Yes, I do a little research too. But he said there will be shakeups and changes. Are we going to see a new quarterback? Are we going to, what's going to happen here? But he said there will be changes to their personnel in the next game.
All right,
that
Dan,
just pisses people off, and just takes a week or two to get over. I think the Ravens have the capability. Their quarterback is just so dynamic in a game that you don't know what you're going to get with him. He's like a box of chocolates, as Forrest would say. You never know what you're going to get, but if he picks the right chocolate in that box, Ravens will eat him up, and 3 points will be nothing.
All right, Sefton says to contact my. Oh, he's reading that to me, so never mind. It'd be stupid for me to read that. All right, Dan. This to me is a tough game to pick. It's a division rivalry. They're two teams that know each other very well, two well-coached teams. And the one thing we do know about Pittsburgh is Mike Tomlin is at his best when he has the least to work with.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. He has a lot to work with. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger is the weakest link on this offense, but he's got weapons and he's got toys.
I don't think he does. Chase Claypool drops half the damn balls straight.
I was going to say, if Chase Claypool can stop dropping the damn ball, he
gets
open.
It's not going to happen.
He's just got to work on that concentration, work on his hands in the offseason.
Well, I will say this. The Bengals defense is far superior to the Ravens defense, which is something I never thought it would say. So I do think there's a chance Najee Harris can make a big difference and keep Pittsburgh in this game.
I'm going to take Baltimore. It's going to be close, but at the end of the day, Watt being out is a huge loss for that defense. The Steelers corner James Pierre got picked on repeatedly last week against Cincinnati.
He's tiny.
He was a huge weakness in that secondary last week.
Hey, are you still going to make fun of my Lamar Jackson claim that I think he's just a little bit above average?
I think that is a foolish statement.
Really? 5 touchdowns, 7 picks for the year, 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
It's ugly. The stats are ugly. But like you like to say, oh, Joe Burrow throws 12 picks, so what? He wins. Well, Lamar Jackson's throwing picks, so what? He's winning, and they're the leader in the division, and they're the number one seed right now.
I'll tell you what, right now. What do you want to bet on who wins the division between the Bengals and the Ravens?
I don't want to bet anything because I don't give a damn who wins that division.
So, well, see, the thing is this, though. The fact that you would make a claim and then say that you don't care, why are you even on the show then?
I have no stake in that division. I don't give a damn. It's like,
what do you have a stake in? You're a freaking Lions fan.
Yeah, so why would I care about the
only way you'll have a stake in anything is if they start to do it like soccer over in Europe and they get relegated to the Big Ten and Michigan beats them by 20.
Yeah, you know what? They probably would lose to Ohio State and Michigan State by 20.
Actually, that's a stupid thing to say. You know that's not true.
I was getting excited.
I know.
But still.
Don't get excited.
I'm gonna take Baltimore, all foolery aside. Watt not playing is a big issue. Big Ben is on the injury report, and he's not been playing well. That's a big issue. Baltimore wraps things up. And fun thing, Baltimore became the first team since 2013 to win a game when the quarterback throws 4 picks. Mike, do you know who the last time that happened in
In what
2013? Who
year?
did it?
What did you say? The last time what?
The last time a quarterback threw 4 interceptions in a game and won?
What year was this?
2013.
Probably Brady.
Peyton Manning.
I asked you, Mike, specifically because it was your boys. It was Andy Dalton, and
I know, that's why I didn't say a damn thing. So go
they
ahead.
beat Baltimore.
I know, but I remember the game. We actually won the division too.
Mhm.
Andy also threw a couple touchdown passes there, big dog.
That he did.
I like
All
Andy
right.
Dalton. I like.
So,
I
wait,
wish
so
Andy
you
could
can say,
get on
Mike,
a. I wish
Okay.
Andy could get on a good football team.
I'm gonna
wish-
go with Sefton. I think Lamar is as Sefton says, Lamar is erratic at times. Bengals win the division, so obviously Sefton knows more than Dan. I also agree with Sefton. The Ravens are playing better. I don't think it's a lot better right now, but I think Baltimore wins this game. The 3 points does worry me because, let's face it, every game we pick anymore, nobody really knows what the hell is going to happen because it seems like there's 7 upsets every damn week in the NFL.
But
You're
I'll
not
tell you
wrong,
what,
man.
though. You know what I've learned, though, Mike? Isn't it amazing how accurate betting.now is?
Betting.net.
Jesus, every time.
Betting.net.
Damn.
You know what I mean.
Actually, it doesn't matter if I know what you mean. If somebody goes to betting.now, they're probably going to get an entirely different site, Steve.
All right, I apologize to betting.net. They're going to fire me.
You don't have to apologize. Just say it right.
I'm
Betting.net.
trying
Right.
to, I actually have it written down.
That's what I was going to write it on your
Right
hand.
on my sheet, I have it written down. Right up top. Betting.net.
It's on the screen, man.
I know.
Come on.
I'm an idiot.
All right.
Oh,
Simon,
God.
if you're watching, I'll send you Risley's phone number tomorrow so you can have a talk with him. He's
Yeah.
liable to rough you up.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, what I was going to say is what's impressive is how accurately close these guys are on these picks.
Well, they're not.
When they set the line, it's amazing how many times they are right on the number.
Well,
I mean,
betting.net gives you what betting.net does, Steve. If you're in Indiana,
they
you'll
give
go
you the
on-
best picks.
they give you the best place to make the pick. So
Right.
if I'm in Indiana, like in Indiana, I have, say it's FanDuel or whatever, just for an example, and it'll pop up that I can use that because there's only certain states right now where it's legal to bet online. So if you live in a certain state, it will give you the best place to bet where it is legal in your state. And that, I think, what is the great thing about it. They also offer expert user reviews for every online sports book and casino in your state. That's the big thing. So if I live in Indiana, Steve, and you live in California, when we go on betting.net, we'll get different things because it'll be tailored to Indiana on one site. It'll be tailored to California on the other place, and it'll show you where you can actually legally bet.
Yeah, the best place
pretty
for us
cool.
to go is down at Julio's Wine and Beer down at the corner of Sepulveda and Chatsworth. You go in, you buy a fifth of Jack Daniels, and then you place your bets behind the counter. Cash only transactions, but
All right, Steve. I don't think you'll find it on betting.net, but you can find it
And
at
then when you win-
SteveRisley.com.
when you win, you grab your money and run like hell because you're going to get shot.
And if you lose, you better have your money.
You better have your money or you're going to get shot.
All right, Sefton says, talk about playing horrible. What happened to Russell Wilson? 49ers will win a close one here. I agree with Sefton. I'm going to take the 49ers here and give the 2.5 points. And I don't think this has anything to do with Russell Wilson. I think this has to do with the fact that Pete Carroll should have been fired 3 years ago. This team has done nothing but get worse as he's been there. And right now, the running backs that they drafted, Rashad Penny was a bust. Chris Carson is hurt almost all the time. And the offensive line, this offensive line's been bad for a long time now, Dan, and they haven't done any damn thing about it. I think this is more than a Russell Wilson issue. I think this is a Pete Carroll issue. I think Seattle needs to clean house when the season's over.
I agree. I mean, I won't say I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think he should have been fired 3 years ago, but
Why
he should
not?
have.
He sucks as a coach in general.
I mean, the team has gotten, obviously worse since they lost the Super Bowl. Every year they've gotten worse.
Okay.
Every year.
I need to set you up. I got a couple guys that played for him in New York when he was the DC or OC. And you need to talk to them. They'll tell you all about Pete Carroll. The Seahawks had maybe the greatest defense in NFL history the year he won the Super Bowl. And I say that because the rules are much more against the defense now. So the 85 Bears didn't have as much to battle as Seattle did back then, if you know, or as Seattle did in 2013. And I think the fact that Seattle defensively was that dominant at that point in the history of the NFL, I think could possibly make the argument that they're the best defense in NFL history. And I think best secondary can definitely be made a case for.
Yo, Legion of Boom, baby. You don't get a name like that being mediocre, just being above average. I'd say that much. But with Seattle, it's ugly. It's time to rebuild, tear it all down, fire Pete Carroll, trade Russell Wilson.
Really? You would trade a young quarterback.
He's not young. He's like 30 or 32 or something like that.
How old's Tom Brady?
There's only one Tom Brady.
No, wait a second. 44. How old is Aaron Rodgers?
We're talking about all-time greats. And Rodgers
and Russell Wilson is an all-time great quarterback. Russell Wilson's an all-time great. Russell Wilson is a top 15, 20 quarterback of all time.
We're talking about the 1%.
I would take Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers any day.
If playing in your 40s at quarterback was something any great quarterback can do, we'd see it a lot more often.
Well, I hate to tell you this,
what Tom Brady's doing is ridiculous.
What you don't understand is this, though. What Tom Brady is doing is about his diet and the way he takes care of himself. Russell Wilson is pretty much the exact same way. And I mean, if you look at Russell Wilson, you love stats, right? So Russell Wilson, even though he's missed 3 or 4 games, still almost 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 picks this year. This is not a Russell Wilson issue. If he's 32, I didn't even look up how old he is, but if he's 32, he's got at least 5 or 6 good years left. Who are you going to make your quarterback then?
Yo, rebuild. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You see, this is one thing. It is easy to say. It's easy to say rebuild, but how are you going to rebuild? What are you going to rebuild to? What's the first thing a team says they need? The team that's the worst in the NFL, what position do they almost always draft first, Steve?
They need a quarterback. Mike, but he's 33 years old, and he's not going to want to deal with it.
He's not going to want to deal with it. Well, I hate to tell you this, but the NFL is something where this can be turned around quickly.
No, it's not. Not like this, man.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard out of your mouth.
No, not like this, dude. They need to rebuild the offensive line. They need to rebuild the defense. They have no pass rush.
I hate to tell you this,
secondary is very
the Arizona Cardinals 2 years ago were putrid.
Uh-huh.
2
and
years later, they're not.
They had a couple of good drafts. They had a couple of good free agent classes.
Everything's fixed.
And they've been getting better with a young, growing quarterback. You got a quarterback who's in his early 20s. This guy's 33 years old, man, and he's injury prone. He's not going to want to get beat up behind an offensive line.
How many games has he missed in his career?
Huh?
How many times has he been injured and missed games?
He gets beat up behind that offensive line.
How many games has he missed? Do you not understand English?
He has played every single game in his career until this year.
Yeah. So I don't see your point here. I see a guy that takes care of himself physically, who takes very few big hits. He moves in a pocket very well. And when he gets hit, the hit is usually not full on. Why do you think guys like him and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers don't get hit that much? It's because they have great feet. And the big thing is they have great pocket presence. There's maybe 7 guys in the NFL that are even on Russell Wilson's level. I think this. You put him in a situation that's better. Even right now, he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can sit here. He's playing on a horrible team, and his touchdown-interception ratio is 4-1.
Listen, I never said anything about Russell Wilson being
but to sit here and say 33 is too old. 33 means to me he's got 5 to 7 years left at least.
And you really think he's going to want to sit there on a team that has a new coach, new system, still no offensive line, like you said leading into this?
How about this? Tell me who the head coach they would hire would be, and I'll give you that answer.
I don't know, man.
But that's the point. I mean, if you're hiring somebody he doesn't believe in, he's going to want out. But if I'm the owner, I'm going to let him interview the coaches with me.
Yeah. Yeah, you know
But
what?
most
In this
teams
new
don't do
era, your
that.
star quarterback should have a say in who he's going to play for.
I
So
don't think necessarily any star quarterback should, but I think the guys that are on the elite level
that's
should.
what I'm saying. Your Tom
And
Brady's,
I
your
believe
Russell
that I
Wilson's.
believe that he does want out of Seattle. I'm just saying if I'm Seattle, I'm trying to keep him there. Hold on, Sefton. I believe Russell Wilson wants out of Seattle. Great minds think alike because his lady is a superstar with nothing to do after playing football. Why keep him when he is disgruntled and one? I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. I'm thinking he may not be disgruntled if you get rid of Pete Carroll.
Well, the point is, all in all, this is a bad team. There are a lot of question marks on both sides of the ball. Pete Carroll and that front office have made a lot of questionable moves in the draft, in free agency, who to re-sign, who to let go. It's been really ugly, and it's only getting worse. I'm going to go with San Francisco in here. I think this is a weird kind of a game only because Deebo Samuel is probably not going to be playing. He might be out for a week or two. They're also going to be without Fred Warner, their star inside linebacker on the other side of the ball. I don't really think it'll matter against Seattle, to be completely honest, as long as they don't turn the ball over. And if Jimmy G still got some of that magic, let's go for another one. Let them run for 200 yards as a team. Maybe Elijah Mitchell can be the starting running back moving forward. Let's go San Fran. Let's go Niners.
All right, right now, so you know, almost half the teams that would be in the playoffs were not in the playoffs last year. The NFL can be switched quickly with free agency and the draft. The only problem is nobody in Seattle has shown the aptitude to be able to pull that off. So I do think Russell Wilson will be gone. But if I'm them, I'm trying to do anything I can because you're probably not finding another Russell Wilson. Next up, so that's what I'm saying, Dan. I mean, hell, I can make Russell Wilson happy and hopefully get a quarterback later. San Francisco at Seattle. I'm taking the Niners. The Niners are playing really well. Jimmy G is balling out. It proves anybody that thinks he sucks is an idiot. Agree, Dan, or disagree?
I'm going to disagree, Mike. But Steve, what's your pick?
I'm taking San Francisco.
San
And
Francisco.
I think Pete Carroll's going to Notre Dame.
He's not.
Go back to college. That's where he belongs.
There is no way Notre Dame takes Pete Carroll. I mean, they've already had plenty of scumbags coach at Notre Dame over the last 40 years. You don't need another one.
Move on. Is that it? Do we have more games?
We got one more game, but it's true. I mean, come on, Pete Carroll. I mean, their national championships.
Making a joke.
The Heisman Trophy's gone from their case. Hell, they lost more than just that. Yet Brian Kelly had, 12 games wiped out. Pete Carroll had the entire university taken off the face of the earth. Next up, the Denver Broncos, who right now could make Dan look really good with his preseason projection if they can beat Kansas City on Sunday night at Arrowhead Stadium. This is a team running the ball wet right now. Teddy Bridgewater's balling right now. Steve, Kansas City is given 9.5 points. That's a lot of points in a game like this.
Oh, man, that's an awful lot of points.
It's a hideous line. It's gross. Yeah. It is so gross.
I think the line should be 6.5.
If not lower.
I don't know because you still want even money bet. So
the house has to win, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's 50-50 or 52-48, everybody's happy. Go ahead, Steve.
I think Kansas City wins this game, but I'm not sure by 9.5.
I'm not sure they win the game.
No, I'm deciding. Why do I have to go first on this one?
I'm probably gonna go Denver. Just pick the game, Steve. Dan.
Oh, you're bullshit.
Okay.
I don't know. I defer.
Okay. I'm gonna take Denver. I think 9.5 points is too much. And I think the thing here that we have not seen, the Chiefs defense played much better last week. The offense still is not hitting on all cylinders. Denver could run the ball. I mean, you got Melvin Gordon. You got Javonte Williams. Teddy Bridgewater, may not be able to put up 50 points here. But I think Teddy Bridgewater can play well enough. They can score 17 to 24 points. And I think that Kansas City, I think it's really pushing it to think they're going to score in the high 20s or low 30s here, Dan.
You know what? I'm actually going to take Denver as well. And we both might look foolish at the end of the day because Kansas City Kansas City can turn it on any week and drop 40 on anybody.
Yeah, but we've been saying that. When's the last time it happened?
It has not happened for a while. And in fact, on this winning streak that they've had, their defense is what stepped up. This Swiss cheese defense that couldn't stop a high school football team suddenly are now playing elite levels. They're making plays when they need to. They're coming off a bye week, and all these things seem to be working in their favor. But 10 points, I don't like it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it at all. I'm going to go Denver.
All right, yeah. If you look at the last few weeks, 19-9 over the Cowboys. They did score 41 on the Raiders, but 13 against the Packers team that didn't have Aaron Rodgers. They only put up 20 against the Giants and won by 3 at home.
Yep.
They got held to 3 points by the Titans. They did put 31 on Washington, but I will say that was Washington when their defense was not playing anywhere near what it was expected. They got held to 20 by Buffalo. They did smack Philadelphia. They only scored 24 against the Chargers. So, I mean, this is a team that, yeah, they could explode and put up a bunch of points, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Super Bowl favorite. I just 9.5 points is a lot here, especially in a divisional game. I think I saw a stat one time where like 65-70% of all divisional matchups are decided by less than a touchdown. Steve, Denver, Kansas City, even though you thought I was trying to bait you into picking Denver.
No, I appreciate it, Mike. I didn't think you were trying to do that. You're too good of a sportsman.
Too classy.
To pull a stunt like that. When you described what you were describing, Mike, you thought all the scores, it was about 50% for and against Kansas City putting up big points. I think it's a crucial game. I think Bridgewater has an opportunity to wilt in a game like this. I don't know that he can withstand the pressure. I think that Mahomes is coming on. The defense is getting stronger. I'm going to take Kansas City and risk it. I'm going to give you your shot, Mike, to tie me or pass me here.
Dude, will you
If
quit
you haven't
talking?
already done it.
See, I get tired of this. I'm going to give you my shot. I mean, so you want to pick Denver?
No, I don't want to pick Denver. I'm going to take
Then
Kansas City.
stop
and give
saying it like that because it's annoying. And
All
it's
right, I'm taking
Dan.
Kansas City. I had Kansas City underlined before I said I'm
That's
deferring.
not the point. The point is the way
I just
you
wanted to
say
hear
it.
the rhetoric.
I'm going to
from
give you a
guys.
chance. I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh, you know what, Mike? If we just sat there and read off stats,
Nobody's doing that. I'm just saying
we'd be about as boring as the Sheridan Report. Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing is this.
So
Betting.net is easy to find all of the legal online casinos or sports books in your state. Head on over and see for yourself. Check out
What happened to
Betting.net.
me?
So actually,
Talking.
is that the last game, Mike?
Because you started attacking Bobby Sheridan in a Sheridan Report.
Well,
Oh,
Mike,
and you didn't off the air, right?
I did not. I've never attacked anybody. And I don't know why anything that would be off the record would be brought up. That's just kind of some bitch CNN move. What then?
Yo, Steve, is that Mike? Is that the last game?
Yes, it was.
All right. So as far as you guys go, because me being so far out of it, I'm irrelevant in the conversation. But
Well, we disagreed like 4 or 5 times this week.
you two have disagreed on the Detroit Minnesota game, the Philly Jets game, and the Kansas City Denver game.
Is that it? It seemed like more.
No, that's it. Those are the only 3 games you guys picked differently from one another. So either Mike's going to take a 2-game lead or Steve's.
Could take a 4-game lead.
Yeah, Steve's going to do something special potentially. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be the turkey this week. We'll see who it is.
It'll probably be 2-1, and we'll still be within 1 or 2 games of each other. It won't matter.
We'll see. But it's going to be exciting this week.
Anyway, personally, I like Bobby Sheridan. I talk to him on the phone on a regular basis.
And so do I. So why are you busting these balls so bad, Steve?
Because he busts my balls.
Yeah, that's
too
what we do on this show, baby.
We bust everybody's balls. If we don't bust his balls, that means we don't like him.
How about
I like
this?
Bobby Sheridan.
You know what I think Bobby would like, though, if he was going to bet the games? I think he'd like a top sports book comparison site like Betting.net, which offers extensive reviews on the best sports books out there. Check out Betting.net. And also, Steve, quit giving us a hard time. We got a free jersey giveaway. And you know what? I've never bought a jersey unless it was from China because it's cheaper. But once again, I don't own any jerseys, so I'm obviously just talking out of my ass like I usually do. But the Grueling Truth free jersey giveaway goes until December the 13th, which means if you're listening, Sefton, if you could enter and win a jersey, you could actually get Dan a Christmas present by putting his last name, Kornhauser, on the back of a Lions jersey and sending it to him.
No.
I think that would be a great Christmas gift, Sefton.
Put it on the back of a Bengals jersey.
All right,
Bengals.
just put my name on. Oh, there you go. But the Grueling Truth November giveaway, we've teamed up with playersbest.com to give away a custom jersey to one lucky winner to simply win. Like the playerbest.com Facebook page, like this post and tag 3 friends in the comments. If you have Twitch, be sure to follow their page to increase your chances of winning. That's Players Best on Twitch TV. Make sure you check that out. Anything else before we wrap it up, Dan?
No, I don't think so. I'm ready for football this weekend, man. I'm ready for college football. I'm ready for the NFL. Let's do it.
All right, Sefton says, another great show. I want to say congratulations to the WTA for putting humanity over money, standing up for China. So I guess Sefton's not talking about Mark Cuban in the NBA. Steve, any final thoughts?
No, not at all. No.
All right.
I mean, games are getting harder because the playoffs are coming closer and teams are taking their last breath, or it's kind of poop or get off the pot time.
Actually, you know what? I got one quick question. Since we only have a month of the season left, 5 weeks or something like that of the season left. We had this conversation a few weeks ago. I want to know right now in the season where we stand. Who would you say is the MVP favorite right now moving forward?
I'll let Steve go first since he deferred on the picks earlier.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I would have a very difficult time betting against Tom Brady at this point in time. I still think he's the glue that holds that franchise together. I do not think the Bucs would be as relevant without him as they are with him. My second pick would be Belichick. I think he may be the second MVP.
I think he would be the head coach of the year.
Yeah, the head coach of the year, right? But hey, in 1981, Bob Knight and Dean Smith were named MVPs of the championship game. Go.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, Isaiah was player of the game.
Well, nobody was named MVP because it's always been the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament.
Well, okay.
You probably don't know that because you only played in it. You weren't watching it, so Brian Gumble will
I've
tell you
seen
about
it multiple times.
All right.
What do you think, Mike's?
Right now, I mean, my top 3 would be Brady, Allen, and Rodgers.
Okay, that's pretty good because that's actually the 1, 2, 3 in terms of odds-on favorites to win right now. Brady at plus 275, Allen at plus 450, Rodgers at plus 750. My favorite right now is Aaron Rodgers. This team has a very good chance to finish with the number 1 overall seed. If it's not going to be Tom Brady, it's going to be A.A. Ron.
Well, I think Josh Allen has a shot because I really think that the Bills are going to catch fire here at the end if they beat New England. I still worry about them being able to run the ball. Sefton, real quick. Tom Brady or Kyler Murray for MVP? Bill will get Coach of the Year. My conspiracy is the Patriots. Well, of course they want the Patriots and Buccaneers in this.
Yeah.
Hell, if the Bengals aren't in it, I want to see the Patriots and the Buccaneers.
I want to see that game too.
I mean, I don't want to see
That'd be the most watched Super
Bowl
Bowl of all time.
Well, how about this? Right now, I think those are the 2 best teams in the respective conferences right now.
Right
I think
now,
that'll change if Buffalo beats New England. But right now, I mean, Belichick and Brady, you would have the greatest coach of all time against the greatest quarterback of all time. Who in the hell doesn't want to see that? Like I said, as long as the Bengals aren't getting screwed during this process, I've got no problem with it. I would.
The biggest part of that for me, Mike, is nobody would give a damn about halftime.
I don't think anybody gives a damn anyway.
Blow halftime, all let's get back to the game.
Halftime always sucks because they only got this crap. I've never heard of the weekend. I just thought it was something you did after the work week.
Mike, the weekend is something between Friday and Monday.
No, it was a singer, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I know. I can't tell you one song he sings either.
And nobody can, except young kids like Dan. When I was growing up,
Dan probably knows.
Super Bowl.
Do you know songs by Weekend?
I'm sure I do.
Oh, God.
Well, I think this. I mean, when you look at it, when I was growing up at the Super Bowl, number 1, we had to sit outside by the campfire when it was freezing in the snow with our feet in the snow just to toughen us up to be men. And at the same time, Up With People did almost every halftime show, or Disney. And, we had to suffer through, basically college halftime shows during the Super Bowl. But I used to think that was bad, but then they started doing actual musical groups. And, they used to have Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, Prince. That was all good. But now all they give us is trash. Who's performing at halftime this year?
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't.
I think isn't it Snoop Dogg, The Weeknd, and
no, The Weeknd was last year.
Oh,
let's
then it's
see. Oh no,
Rihanna.
so this one is going to be all right. So this one's going to be Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, didn't he play for the Lakers? Didn't he marry a Kardashian?
No, I think that's Lamar Odom.
It's Lamar
Hell,
Odom.
it's the same thing. There's a Lamar in his name. I'm all right. I'm all right with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, but
I love Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's
It's a
funny.
real Pam situation.
No, Snoop Dogg's a scumbag.
No,
right.
he supports youth football out here in L.A.
Oh, good for
with
him.
his money and big time. Coaches the team.
Wow.
Then he shows up.
That's the only way he coaches the team is because he owns the league.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's true.
All right.
I mean, come on. The dude's an asshole.
All right.
I've never met him. I couldn't pass judgment on somebody like that without having met the guy.
Well, I mean, he was a pimp when he was younger. That's usually somebody who's a pretty good guy.
Hey, pimping ain't easy, all right?
Yeah, pimping ain't easy. But sometimes you got to beat a hoe. So,
Nice.
all right. Anything else dangerous, Dan Kornhauser?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right. My peeps is Snoopy. Now, if Snoopy was on with Charlie Brown and Lucy, I'd be down with that.
Nice.
I think he means Snoop Dogg. Actually, I like Snoop Dogg. I watched the Tyson Jones fight. I paid for that just to watch Snoop Dogg perform.
Great story,
Hey,
Mike.
can you all do a shout out to my my second
what?
Aussie? Is today is his 6th birthday. Say
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Enzo.
Happy birthday,
Enzo. Did you name him after Enzo Macronelli?
No, I named him after Enzo Ferrari.
Who's that? Is that one of Snoop's hoes?
Nice. And we're done.
That was good. We're done after that. Guys, we will be back next Wednesday night for the NFL Pick'em show.
Hey, Dan, can I please be on your NBA show?
I would love for you to be on our next NBA
okay,
show,
you get in touch with me.
Yes, sir.
We'll have one of those double secret calls that you're having with Mike all the time now.
I can't wait.
I actually don't. I've talked to Dan on the phone like twice.
Maybe.
Well, you never call me anymore.
I called you yesterday, Steve.
That's right, you did.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up because Steve, it's 9:34, which is 4 minutes past your bedtime. Those nurses at the home will be coming in to get you to tuck you into bed soon.
It's only 6:30 out here, man.
I know, which means you got to go to bed at 6:30. You're already.
You know what I'm doing tonight? I'm watching Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman.
Bergman.
Bergen.
Say Bergman.
Bergman.
Yeah.
Bergman.
Say it one more time.
Looking at you, kid. Yeah. Of all the gin joints in the world, you had to walk into mine.
I guarantee you Dan's never seen Casablanca, but have you seen
Casablanca, Dan?
I mean, how about this? What movie was it we asked him to watch and he'd never seen?
Blazing Saddles.
Did you watch it?
No.
All right, guys, you can follow me at Grueling Truth. Dan will be back once he watches Blazing Saddles. If you don't watch Blazing Saddles, you're not coming back next week.
Sefton, I agree with Sefton.
What? What'd he say?
The Stugarts is stirring in me.
What is the Stugarts? It does two dumbasses on the ESPN.
That's the German army that hangs out and tries to find.
They're on hunting Hitler.
Find Laszlo. Laszlo's the guy that they're trying to funnel through the French resistance. They're trying to funnel him through to help fight the Nazis.
Dan, is that what
It's an all-time classic, Dan. Come on. You have not. I've watched Casablanca 40 times, probably.
I've never seen
40. You either?
Nope.
It's a great movie. It's on Turner Classic Movies.
It's not as good as Blazing Saddles. Watch Blazing Saddles.
No, it's not. Blazing Saddles, but it's a different kind of humor. Well, there's no humor in Casablanca.
Well, I mean, Blazing Saddles is a movie.
Funniest movie ever made.
Blazing Saddles is a movie that would not be allowed to be made today.
Oh, you couldn't. I don't even know how
It's
it's
kind of
on
like
air.
it's kind of like All in the Family and Sanford and Son. If you've ever watched them,
Yeah,
they
I've
would
watched
never
both of
make
those.
it if it was today.
Luigi Elizabeth is the big one. Elizabeth.
I'm going to bed.
Jeez. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. You can follow me at Grueling Truth. Make sure you check out Dan and Bob under NBA Show. It is posted on our Facebook
Oh, I thought
page.
it was Dan, Bob, and Steve. I've been whacked
Dan
already.
and Bob, well, this show was before you had your double secret call. Dan and Bob did their show last night. It'll be replayed, re-aired tonight at, I believe, 11 o'clock on the Grueling Truth Facebook page. Survive in Advance, Sefton, the repeat will be tonight at midnight. If you missed it, Sefton, or anybody that did, you can watch that also.
Or if you just want to hear it again.
I learned something new today.
Yeah. Stugotz is the Italian word for...
Well then. All right then.
I can't make out. What is he trying to say?
I don't know, Steve.
God.
I have no idea.
Oh, Steve, come on.
No clue.
D-I...
Nope. No idea.
K-S. Stugotz is the Italian word for somebody with the name of Richard and what he likes to be called instead. How about that?
Okay. All right.
There you go. I nailed that. Your dog laughed. Happy birthday to Enzo. We're out of here for Dan Kornhauser.
Oh,
Steve
I see.
Risley.
That's an exclamation point or something.
Oh, I forgot. This was Clarence Ott who said his peeps is Snoopy. Sorry about that. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you check us out at The Grueling Truth. You can hear us on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, over 300 different places. You can find us on YouTube. So, for now, you've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.